Have you ever heard of the guy who thought capturing the solar eclipse on his phone would be easy? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. This is Joe. Joe is an avid photographer, always looking for the perfect shot. When news of a solar eclipse broke out, Joe couldn't contain his excitement. He thought, "This is my big break." However, he wasn't aware that his moment of triumph was about to take a drastic turn. With his high-tech smartphone, Joe embarked on his mission. Joe was no amateur when it came to technology. He had the latest model from one of the best smartphone manufacturers, holding a camera that could impress any photography enthusiast. But what Joe didn't know was that his precious device was about to face the fury of the sun. As the moon started to overshadow the sun, Joe, filled with anticipation, pointed his phone towards the sky. He was ready to capture the astronomical event in all its grandeur. But as he hit the shutter button instead of a beautiful image, Joe was met with a flickering screen and then nothing. His phone had quit on him. Joe was left bewildered, staring at his inoperative phone, his dreams of the perfect shot crushed. The solar eclipse, rather than being a moment of triumph, had turned into a tale of technological tragedy. His phone, a high-end model from a top manufacturer, was now an expensive paperweight or electronic rock. Joe's story might make you laugh, but it serves as a warning to us all. It's the story of a man, his phone, and a solar eclipse, an electronic rock, a few squirrels, all that proved too much to handle. It raises the question, why did Joe's phone camera fail during the solar eclipse? What exactly happened? Why did his phone camera die? Stick around as we investigate the eclipse selfie blunder and reveal the technology behind the damage. To understand our friend's predicament, we need a quick crash course on solar eclipses and phone cameras. So, let's dive right in. An eclipse, in the simplest terms, is a celestial game of hide and seek, where the moon temporarily blocks the sun, casting a shadow on Earth. It's a beautiful, rare event. But it's also a source of very concentrated sunlight. Imagine the sun's rays as a crowd of sprinters. During an eclipse, they're funneled into a tight marathon tunnel, making them more intense. Now, let's talk about your phone camera. It's a marvel of technology packed into a tiny space. At its heart is the image sensor, a chip that converts light into an electric signal, which your phone translates into the photos you love. The lens of your camera, much like a magnifying glass, focuses light onto the little digital sensors. So, what happens when you point your phone at an eclipse? You're basically directing a stream of supercharged sunlight straight onto your camera's itty-bitty digital sensors. It's literally like taking a magnifying glass in the sun and focusing the beam of light onto a piece of paper. We all know what happens next. The paper catches fire. Except, in this case, it's your camera sensor that's getting singed. The three most popular phone vendors, let's call them A, B, and C, all equip their devices with high-quality lenses. These lenses, while excellent for capturing your everyday moments, can focus intense light onto the little delicate sensors, potentially causing damage when pointed at an eclipse or extremely bright light source like a laser. Now you might be thinking, but I've taken pictures of the sun before and my phone is fine. Well, that's because an eclipse is a different beast. The concentrated sunlight during an eclipse is much more potent than during a regular sunny day. So, in a nutshell, pointing your phone at that spectacular eclipse is like holding a magnifying glass in the sun pointed directly at your camera's hardware. Not a great idea, right? But what about the phones? What makes them so vulnerable to a celestial event like a solar eclipse? You see, the camera technology in our smartphones, as advanced as it may be, isn't immune to the power of the sun. Let's look at the top 3 phone vendors: Apple, Samsung, and Huawei. Apple's latest iPhone, for example, has a 48 megapixel camera. That's 48 million tiny pixels, all capturing and translating light into the stunning images you see on your screen. But when you point it directly at the sun during an eclipse, each of those pixels is exposed to an intense amount of light and heat, which can cause them to burn out. Samsung's Galaxy phones, on the other hand, come equipped with a whopping 108 megapixel camera. More pixels mean more detail, but also more potential for damage when exposed to the full force of the sun. And what about Huawei? Their P-series phones boast a 40 megapixel camera. That's 40 million tiny light sensors that could be damaged by the sun's powerful rays during an eclipse. Now, the thing to remember is this: our phone cameras are designed to handle everyday lighting conditions. Sunlight, yes, but the intense, concentrated light of the sun during an eclipse? Not so much. This is why it's crucial to protect your phone's camera during an eclipse, just as you would protect your eyes. These cameras also have tiny lenses and sensors that can be damaged by the sun's ultraviolet radiation. Pointing your phone directly at the sun during an eclipse can cause these parts to overheat or burn, resulting in blurred images or, in the worst-case scenario, a completely non-functional camera. So, no matter how fancy your phone is, it's not eclipse-proof. Remember that. Now that we know the risks, how can we enjoy these amazing cosmic events without risking our beloved phones? First and foremost, preparation is key. Don't just wake up on eclipse day and decide to point your phone at the sun. Do some research. There are special filters available that can be attached to your phone's camera. These filters reduce the sun's intensity, making it safe for your phone and for your eyes if you're viewing through your phone. Eclipse glasses are another great option. These are not your typical sunglasses. They're specially designed to protect your eyes from the harmful rays of the sun during an eclipse. You can use these glasses as a makeshift filter for your phone. Just place the glasses in front of your phone's camera and voila, you've got yourself a solar filter. Now, you might be thinking, I'll just use my regular sunglasses. Not a good idea, folks. Regular sunglasses, even the darkest ones, are not safe for viewing or photographing a solar eclipse. They simply don't block out enough of the sun's harmful rays. Also, don't forget to turn off the flash on your phone. The flash won't help you get a better photo of the sun. If you're planning on using a tripod, make sure it's sturdy. You don't want your phone to fall and get damaged during the event. And please, don't forget to enjoy the experience. It's not every day we get to witness such an amazing spectacle. Lastly, remember that while capturing any eclipse is exciting, it's also important to experience it with your own eyes. So take a moment, put down your phone, and truly soak in the wonder of these celestial events. With a little preparation, you can capture the beauty of solar eclipses and the like without any camera casualties. Now that you're armed with this knowledge, it's time to share it. We live in an interconnected world, teeming with technology. The understanding you possess can save numerous phone cameras, eyeballs, and future electronic rocks from a solar eclipse's unsuspected damage. So why hold it back? Act. Your friend planning to capture the next solar eclipse, your cousin who's an aspiring photographer, or your tech enthusiast colleague, all could benefit. It's not just about safeguarding cameras. It's realizing that our small actions can bear consequences. So, share this video on various platforms and let's relish the beauty of a solar eclipse responsibly. Our phones are more than devices. They hold memories and connect us to the world. So next time there's a solar eclipse, let's make sure our phones are safe and sound. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep sharing.
So, if you're ready to embark on this dynamic journey of invention, awe, and of course /randomness, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us on this adventure. On your screen, you'll see a bunch of squirrels running around playfully. They're here to remind you, in the world of /, anything can happen, and it usually does. Thanks for watching.